Hey everybody, welcome to Vintage Guitar Workshop. I'm John Heaney, and this is Holland Morgan.
Hello.
And this is a vintage 72 or so Vox Bulldog speaker. It's got the back part removed so you can't see the little Bulldog. But this is from a solid state Vox. And this is actually not made, it's not a Celestion, it's made in the US and painted gold to look like a Celestion. These need to be reconed. The speakers are blown, they're damaged. I already did one of them, there's two in the cabinet. And I'm gonna show Holland how it's done. And we're gonna start with the destructive phase where we cut the old speaker cone out and rip it apart. Fun. Just slicing the old paper away, razor blade. This part in here, the little cloth kind of accordion part, is called the spider. Won't bite you though. And then you cut this with the X-Acto, cut it all around. Just try not to scratch the metal part there at all, but I don't want to make any impressions. And then we've got to cut these two wires here. These are really flexible wires with cloth inside that allow the speaker to move up and down. And then we continue cutting out the spider. Alright, looks like we've removed the cone.
Whoa!
Quite a bit of dust there, that'll make a good shot. Alright, now here we go. Oh, we got a little hanger on there.
Cling on.
Oh, look that well, if you will. There we go. Alright, so this is our voice coil and our spider. This was making a grinding sound, but you can see where the coil has been kind of rubbing against the internal workings of the speaker, right there especially. And that's why it sounded so bad. There's a bit of corrosion in there. We're gonna have to get in here and clear out any dust that's in there. There's a special process for doing that. We'll go over that. But now we've got to clear off all this stuff. Right here, I don't know if you can catch that. You can see the broken wire on the other speaker voice coil. This was the second one, and this one didn't work at all. This one was dead. And there is the evidence that wire is detached from the whole rest of the coil. That's why it doesn't work. Here we go again. We're gonna do some more destructive work on the speaker. We're gonna take the rest of the spider off and a gasket around the outside. Really important if you're gonna do speaker repairs. These edges, this is just stamped metal. These are super sharp. If you're gonna try this, wear gloves.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get rid of the rest of the spider and the rest of the gasket here. This is quite a long process, so Alan will use some magic to speed this up. And with a lot of manual labor
And elbow grease.
and elbow grease, I scraped all that gasket off with a putty knife. There we go. Now I'll probably go over that with maybe some sandpaper or something to get all that glue off. The spider all removed, all the glue removed.
Spider.
Just, again, lots of scraping. Now I'll probably go over that again with a little sandpaper, just clean off the little last bits of remnants and clean off all this oxidation or whatever that white powder is. Cleaned off all of the remnants of glue here. Now I'm gonna clean this off with a little mineral spirits. And you see all this white oxidation will just vanish. And the speaker turns gold like the outside. All right, now we're ready to put the new spider on. So I'm gonna have to get, first I'm gonna have to clear out the any dust from the little groove there, and then put in some shims and the voice coil, and we'll put the spider on and glue it down. We are using a piece of tape and a piece of Teflon as a shim just to go in there and get rid of any bits of oxidation and dust that are in the voice coil gap. And we'll keep doing this until that comes out clean. And as you can see, we're not ready yet. This is our new voice coil. There it is, beautiful. New voice coil. I'm gonna slip that in there. Perfect fit, of course. And then we're gonna take these shims. Now, hoping these fit because I used them on the last one. It should be the same. These are your lead, your wires coming out of your coil. Those have to be soldered to these terminals with the flexible wire. So you gotta keep those out of the way and keep them safe. Then we're gonna do some shims between the voice coil and the magnet. We're gonna set that at the right height, and then we're gonna do this, do a dry fit of our spider. Okay, and I'm gonna do this with another shim around the outside, on the outside of the voice coil. And this will help me to slide the spider on. Spider. Keep those wires out of the way. So you gotta get this in there. Slide it on down. That makes contact with the frame of the speaker. But leave the other two in. You see we're right about there on my Sharpie mark. And we know that we're centered because we've got the shims in there. Now I'm going to glue the outside edge of the spider, so I'll still have the ability to move the inner voice coil. We'll do that part later. Very gently take it out. Put a bead of this black rubber cement around the edge. Stuff will soak into the fibers. Don't need a lot of this, just a little bit. And then we're going to slip it back in. And make sure your wires line up with your output there. And we're gonna get it down there in the glue. Move it around a bit. We wait till tomorrow, and that'll be dry, and we'll continue with the process. So continuing from where we left off, we're still doing the speaker recone of the Vox Bulldog and putting the cone on. We've already got the spider in. We put the voice coil in. I glued the voice coil into the spider with epoxy. And you have to turn it upside down so the epoxy doesn't run the wrong way into the speaker. And now I've got, I still have my shims on the inside from the original one. And now I put a shim that goes through this and on the outside of the voice coil. And that kind of helps guide it over the voice coil. And this should be one quick, easy step, and I'll get this on the voice coil, center it up, and then I'll glue it around the edge here. Now, I'll still use my marks to tell where my voice coil is. I can kind of see a little bit of it. But if I pull this out now, that should just pop the voice coil right into position. Be careful not to pull it up unevenly. And there we go. The cone is now seated on the voice coil. I'm going to leave these shims in until that's glued in place, and I'll glue it on the inside and on the outside.
All right.
The next step will be to glue around the edge of the speaker. We've got the glue, the epoxy, gluing the cone to the voice coil, and also epoxied the inside here. Voice coil to the cone and voice coil to the spider. And now poked a couple little holes here for our wires. These are our very flexible wires that go between the speaker cone and the terminal. And we poke a little hole through the speaker itself and we shove these in. And I'm gonna wrap these wires around those, solder them together, glue it all down to the cone. And when that's dry, then attach these wires to the terminal. Leave a bunch of extra flexibility. So the wires are through, so they're soldered together, and now I'm just gonna put a little epoxy to hold them in place. Epoxy right to the speaker cone. I'm gonna do this on both sides. We did the wires through the cone. We soldered them here. A little bit of epoxy to hold the wires in place and soldered them to the output terminal. I've tested the speaker, it works. So I'm ready to do the final step, which is the dust cap. We're gonna put a little bit of this black rubber cement around the dust cap and a little bit on these wires too, where they have nothing on them. That just keeps them from rattling and makes the whole thing look uniform. When I put this on, it'll just set right into the rubber cement that I put over the wires. So we're going to start with the wires. A little rubber cement here. Okay. Just around the edge, as neatly as possible. You have to be quick with this rubber cement too, because it'll harden right out. So, glue all around the outside edge. I'm gonna put it on my marks. There's one right there, one right there, there's one right there. Now here's the hard part. Oh, there's a little trick to this. It's a little masking tape handle, just to hold it in place while you're centering it.
Oh.
There we go. Centered. And I use a little handle of a file. I'm just gonna press it down a bit. Three-cone speaker, Vox Bulldog. I'll put the back part on it that has a little picture of a bulldog. There we go. About 10 or 12 easy steps. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Fix-It tips.